This is 3 News Daily.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to 3 News Daily on this Thursday, September 29th. I'm Stephanie Haney. Thanks for being here for your top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. And first, we start with a sad story. We're still gathering details about this, but a 10-year-old boy is dead after being hit by a CSX train. This happened in Painesville. CSX says it extends its deepest sympathies to the loved ones of the boy. We know that he was hit around 8 o'clock last night on the tracks near Elm Street and Railroad Street. Police say he was crossing the tracks on his bike when it happened. As of now, we don't have any information to share about his identity. Our Neil Fisher will be with us, though, with more details. That'll be starting at 4 o'clock. Now let's talk health news. The number of reported monkeypox cases is going up in Northeast Ohio. 85 cases have been reported so far in Cleveland. That's out of 136 total cases in Cuyahoga County. So because of this, the Cleveland Department of Public Health will host a monkeypox vaccine clinic this Friday from noon to 6. Now, it is a 2-dose vaccine. You can get either the first or second dose there, and the clinic will be at 1313 East 26th Street. We'll let you know when October monkeypox vaccine clinics are scheduled as soon as we get that information. Now we have an update on Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett following his car crash. We know now that he has been cited for failing to control his car, and now he has to appear in Wadsworth Municipal Court. That's on October 12th. 3 News has also learned that he's been stopped for speeding 6 times since 2017. Court records and multiple tickets show that he was driving more than 100 miles per hour on multiple occasions, including going as fast as 120 and 105 miles per hour on I-71 in Medina County. The speed limit there is only 70 miles per hour. And in the police report we received today about the crash, an officer at the scene of the crash says that Myles, quote, came over the hill flying, went airborne, took the fire hydrant out, and rolled 3 times. We are very happy to hear that they are doing okay, but very scary situation. Okay, now in political news, Republican candidate J.R. Majewski from Port Clinton has made his campaign a lot about his image as an Air Force veteran for a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. And we're learning now that some of the things that he said were not true. Majewski said last week that he was punished and demoted after getting into what he called a brawl in Air Force housing in 2001. But military records paint a different picture. They show that he lost rank for driving while drunk on a base in Japan. Majewski called that a 20-year-old mistake. Not exactly clear what he means by that. But Majewski also claimed to have served a rough tour in Afghanistan, and we now know that he was never deployed to Afghanistan. He was instead deployed to Qatar, where he helped load and unload airplanes. Now, this all comes after the Associated Press questioned why Majewski never re-enlisted despite only serving 4 years. Now, when all of this came out, the U.S. House Republican campaign pulled back money that it was planning to spend to support Majewski's campaign here in Ohio. What Majewski is saying after all of this is that he has nothing to hide. Now, to yesterday's big story. Hurricane Ian made landfall in Florida yesterday as a Category 4 storm. Since then, it's been downgraded to a tropical storm, and it continues to rage with heavy rain and damaging winds. So as of now, the storm is expected to go into the Atlantic before making landfall again in South Carolina. Our chief meteorologist has been talking about how this will impact us here in Northeast Ohio. You can find that on WKYC.com, and you'll also have that in our forecast because we do expect, apparently, according to Betsy, to have some impact this weekend. John Mellencamp is in town to perform at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as they open up their newest permanent exhibit. It is called Legends of Rock, John Mellencamp. And today is Mellencamp Fan Day. That's some pretty perfect timing, right? It's almost like they planned that. That means people can watch him perform live, jam out to his songs in an interactive garage takeover, and get some great pics for the gram during the Long Live Rock photo op. Our own Christy Paul will be giving us a tour of the exhibit. That'll be on 3 News at 6. And the Guardians are finishing their series with Tampa Bay tonight at Progressive Field. The past 2 games were wild, first dealing with rain and last night going into extra innings, and it all came together in the end with the Guardians winning 2-1. So now they've won 19 of their past 23 games, and our own Jay Crawford is throwing the first pitch tonight. He'll be joined by the rest of the guys from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Remember, postseason tickets are on sale today. That's starting at 2 o'clock. They're available online, and you can get 6 per person for that wild card series. Let's pack the ballpark. Okay, in honor of his military service, Bank of America presented U.S. Marine Sergeant Anthony Leonza with the keys to a mortgage-free home in South Euclid this morning. Sergeant Leonza enlisted in the Marine Corps in 2005 when he was 22 years old. He followed in the footsteps of family members, including his dad, his stepdad, and grandfathers before them. And over the course of 8 years in the service, he was deployed 4 times. Now, while preparing for senior non-commissioned officer training, that's called SNCO training, he injured his shoulders, and that added to many other injuries he had over his military career. He had a year of rehab, and then he had failed surgeries, and then he was eventually medically retired. So now he's going to school and working toward a bachelor's degree. Leonza was overjoyed. He said he wanted to thank Bank of America so much for everything they've done. He said he couldn't thank them enough, and that seriously, from the bottom of his heart and his family's heart, it means the absolute world to them. If you want to watch the entire event, we did stream it on WKYC.com, so you can check that out. We'd love to share that kind of story. Okay. Now for our question of the day. It's National Coffee Day, so we want to know, how do you take yours? Me, personally, I think we all know by now, I love that decaf latte with oat milk and honey. Gotta have the decaf because I am a 90-year-old woman, it's true. We want to hear how you take it. Post your comment on the WKYC Facebook page and we'll talk about it during What's New at 4 o'clock. Also on What's New at 4 o'clock, we do want to help you refresh your usual Java. So Mojo's Coffee Shop in Bay Village will be here to share their tips on how to spice up your morning cup of joe. All right, that's it for today's episode of 3 News Daily. We'll be back tomorrow for more of your top stories from WKYC.com and the WKYC app. Remember, if you haven't yet, download that WKYC Plus app. You can stream us all day long on your Roku and your Fire TV apps. We'll see you tomorrow with more 3 News Daily.